down.
There he is, you all. There he is. There's the one that had caused that damage. He walked all the way. I'm going to show the little clips. He walked all the way from there, all the way over here. But it's due to them trees too close to this unit. Look at that. There he is. He come all the way down here, but I know he's looking for that hole that he put right there.
You just know you're there.
Yeah, he know I'm here. And he has a big old bed right up on top of there, that gutter. And there he is. There he is. He literally done destroyed this fence. But like I'm saying, and I said I was going to do a live, so the timing of the spirit of covenant being right here at the time in which he, let's see where he goes. I'm going to watch him. Watch him. If he don't jump back on them trees, let's see where he goes. We're all at the lodge right here. Look at him. See, he done jumped back on the trees. Now I'm coming out to do this live. It's Retagua Day anyway. I'm in that Retagua. These trees just definitely need to be taken care of. They're too wild. And they're too close to these units, especially here. And they've been needing a trimming for a long time. And it's just things you do. This is just something that's part of the maintenance and the taking care of the property. And you can see how, look at it. Look at how wild these trees have grown because there is no maintenance on them. And you saw that squirrel, but we knew that he was going to come back because there's a big old nest right up there. You can see it. And we come out here on the 11th. Move this out the way. We come out here on the 11th and we saw this right here. See that? He just come right on through. You can see that. We've already did the actual photos of this. But see, this is what happened. And we said we were going to make a video later on today about that. So the perfect time to come in on it would be at that moment when Covenant spot that big old huge squirrel. We'll get the footage that he was able to get because we couldn't just get on our live right away because it is, thunder in the air and looks like it's raining, but looks like we might pick up a heavy rain or heavy rain. We said you're just going to pay to do right. We're in a season now, and we're coming up where we say we are part of, and that's an error, which is a ERA, to correct all the errors, ERRORS, please put the S on it, we have so many people that have done wrong, but thank God for the years of 2020, which was that year of light coming to vision. And where there was a time that if those that did have a vision, it was really coming to those, the ones that, if you tarry for it, which we have, waited 20-some years for some things to come to pass, that we're right at that time of seeing those things come to pass. And so after 2020, we said that 2020 would be with us forever. And 2020 kicked us into a lot of things like the year 2021, the forever, the covenant, and all that came to life. But then when we hit 22, there was no excuse that any of us will ever have for the things that's been hidden, even in our lives, to not bring it out or to not confess to it or to not ask for forgiveness or to not get it right. The year 2022 was that moment because light exposes everything. Light is something you can see, yes, to make your life easy, but light exposes everything. Dark, even in darkness, when light comes, everything is exposed. So my goodness, that was a whole year, and we're talking 12 months of being able to get it right, because light was here. Light had come. And so now we're in that year 23, and there is nothing to be hidden. You can't hide nothing. Nothing that's hidden is going to stay hidden too much longer. So we said that we were going to, through the help of the Spirit, we were going to do a live. It's Retagua. It's that Wednesday, W-H-E-N with the lowercase s with the D-A-Y. And it's also, once we hit 313, it is that Retagua day. At Retagua, when we come to this wall, or whenever we come to this wall, it is to reverse the war. Because there are so many things in our lives that want us to fight. Even if it's over petty things, it wants us to fight. Things that we should no more be fighting for, year in and year out, fighting for the same thing. Now, we can guarantee you that this time next year, we're not going to be fighting with no landlords or no property managers on things that they should do, because it's part of the lease, it's part of what they advertise, it's part of their duty, it's part of what they're supposed to do. And especially as a valued customer and people that do it right and take care of your place and don't allow things, that you should be wanting to help them the most. And to see how this property has just gone down, 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 and it's not even the location or the actual property itself. It's just who's over the property and what they let in. And this is just totally unset. If we were to use a military term, this is totally unset to let such beautiful palm trees look so like they look, and to not invest in the property when people are spending so much money for high rent, to pay high rent for things that are broken. Well, we're not going to make this a long one. Let me just go ahead and introduce. I'm High Servant Mother Doris, founder of I Am Sent Me, builder of the storehouse, carrier of the blessing of promise. We're at the unit that is called the lodge, right? And there's the building with the light. That's what we focus on. That's where we focus on. And you can see that one of the light that is part of 13 lights, it's only one of them that is on. All the other lights are off. You can see that. But if you look over there in the direction in which his servant is pointing, there is only but one light that's, well, let me look down. Hold on. I see two. That's as far as we can see down. So all the other ones up here are not on, but at least two of the lights over there are on. I'm going to point in that direction so we can zoom in later on it. But we knew that the squirrel was going to come. Whoever did that damage, and we knew it was a squirrel. See, in light for us, the reason why we're not panicking, because in the place of the spirit, that's how we said that provision has gotten in the walls. Now you can see provision is like, I'm coming all the way in. I'm coming all the way in to make things right. Yep, that's what provision is doing. I'm coming all the way in. Any way I can get in, I'm getting in to make things right. Now, when the person, will connect the video to this one, that the one that was supposed to come, it was a hole right here, is much, much smaller than this hole right here. But because when he came to fix the hole that was right here, and he did not do a good job on that, then look what happened, right? We shared with you how he left the screen like this and said that this is the way he liked for it to be for on windy days like this. You know, this would be best that didn't rip through. No, it's supposed to be tight. It's supposed to be very, very tight. It's supposed to be tight. You understand? But you can see these screens are so old, they need to be replaced. This is like the tightest one here. This is, see that if you see me like this. But if you look down here and I do these right here, there's a lot of flimsy to it. See all that flimsy? Just flimsy. But you see they're old. See all the, see that? All the snags or whatever in there. It's an old screen. And they just need to replace it. That's all they need to do. Get qualified maintenance people and just go ahead and do the work. But then you see, this is how he left it. And I have gone there to that office numerable times to only be ignored in the way like to do the work. They put in the work or the work request. And then in about a week or so, they say people are coming and no one shows up. You see all the no-shows that his servant had. This is time-consuming for his servant, especially when we're in the city and we're on other places. This is time-consuming, and it's also affects like the income in the way in which we like contribute. And this is what we do. We do the Go City. We do the feet in action. This right now, this foot in action, whenever you see us look situated where we are still, this is called the foot in action. And so we can tell you that this is not no coincidence. This is things that are happening from unit to unit. And then this is what we, when we came out here and we saw this, we had to lift up that eyes. We're like, no, because see, this is to be done right. And this is what we know about. I know you don't hear this, and I know you can't see it in the place of the spirit. To you, it's like, oh, that's just a wild squirrel. But you wait till you see that big old squirrel coming off that tree, getting up on this particular screen here. This will keep our finger so you can see this screen here to make its way all the way down here because it's looking for that hole that it already done bit to get inside the actual area here on the patio, because when the storms and things come, it's like they look for safety and they come really on the inside. But this is like the biggest we've ever seen, you know, something like this happen. Yep, that squirrel did that. And when we show you the very first hole, how small it was, right? All he had to do was come fix it. You can see he really didn't even do a good job of this. This is very, very loose. And he went back and he marked it as being done. We went right away to tell him that we called, and we also went down there. We have not yet received any calls from them. We've left messages after messages. Con-Am management, can you hear this? Can you hear this request, the concern that we're saying to you about the poor maintenance in this one particular area and all? And it just gets worse. It doesn't get any better. And they need better people in the front office, and they need better people in the management as far as the maintenance and things like that. And so you can see that screen, after he came to fix that hole, that screen, he just messed it up even more. And that's been the work of the individual in everything that they've done. And yes, if anyone looks back and it's up to you if you pursue. But if you look back, you're going to see that same structure in the ceiling here, both in that the area, the open area outside of the kitchen area, which we call the lounge area. And then you go down in the garage, you can see the structure that they have said is completed still looks the same way. Yes, like we said, the only thing we're going after now is that first reimbursement, that yes, we want to be compensated for a unit that was advertised as to be ready but was not ready. And there's no way in the world, we might as well put it on this one right here. We're on Retardwar, the raw over here. We reverse the war by just speaking the things that are raw. We just tell it like it is. Because now we can see why so many people are oppressed, suppressed, depressed, compressed, you just name it. And so many are so fatigued and so tired out. And so I'm so tired of this. And then they put the SICK to it. And then they just don't do anything and they live. You see that the people that was here settled for this, to the point that they just give up. You understand? They spend these, but yet they use that big old C word and have 11 letters to it. And they can't say thank you. They can't say thank you, Lord, because the conditions that they settled for. And no one can tell his servant, it is not a conspiracy. We won't go along with that theory. It is not, what would they say? It's not coincidence, or neither is it being done by accident. It is part of the agenda that they have planned here, and all that's the way they do. And they bring people with what would you call them? Desperate situations or something that happened, and they're in a hurry to get a unit that they'll put you anywhere, and then expect you to accept it. Now, if you're going to show me a unit and say it's well done, it's well ready to move into, and everything is done, that's how we expect it. You can't collect people's money and then you put them in a unit and nothing in the unit's been done. So you can't tell his servant, and even if we stepped in the place of the Spirit, you can't tell his servant and convincingly that a unit like this was seen as being ready. That's what you said without actually looking at the unit. And then another thing, you can't tell his servant that under no coincidence or what they say, conspiracy or accidental, that even new appliances would come where everything is broken. Come on now. I'm talking new appliances. The refrigerator has a defective device on it in the motor. Can barely fit in the area in which it's carved out for the refrigerator to go. The stove has, when you hit the buttons on it, squitches. You can hear these scritching sounds from that. The washing machine, the dryer, the washing machine keeps the water at the base of the washing machine. These are all supposedly to be new appliances, updated, for the moderate kind of way of living. You understand? And you are paying full price of that for that. You understand? For an upgraded unit, you're paying the full price. Brand new appliances. And then the dryer. You'd have to covenant up to see. You would have to pursue. It's up to you if you pursue, but everything is on this wall here. Con will call you to tell you, really call me. Con and management. Right? And then listen at this. The dryer, the person the technician, hopefully he was a technician, that put the dryer in here, connected it to the very, like this old, and it was old, the old hose that was already in there. You talking about so much lit inside of that. My son took out a bag, and then the person that's the maintenance person here, he asked me for a bag. He asked his servant for a bag, and then he filled his bag halfway up. And then this brand new dryer smokes. Now, how many times have we submitted a work request? How many times have they said that it's on a back order? That's the thunder. All right, so MD, get ready to go. If you hear a kind of thing, MD is going inside. But that's the thunder. You understand? And a storm is in the air. It's kind of drizzling right now. And that squirrel was on its way to get inside, and it got right here, come all the way from here. I told my sons, look out for that squirrel. We don't know, if it's a wild squirrel or whatever it is, but it's looking for safety. It comes in and it's made its way in on this patio, and this is where we know that it might be like when we're not out here. But you can see, like we'll keep pointing up there, the gutters are so clogged that the rain, when it comes heavy, it's just going to pour out on that area because the drains are clogged, because that's where the squirrels have made their beddings in the actual, gutters. You understand? Just so much poor. It's like, how can you catch up with it all? So that's the reason why we're doing these videos, and hopefully those that are in these trap situations, for whatever reason, for whatever reasons, not enough, for whatever reason, we're releasing footages like this. And this is not even the half to be told. And that's one of the reasons why his servants say this is not a coincidence. It's not a conspiracy. It is neither done by accident. This is on purpose. And like we said, that the very person, her name is Dead Nail. We learned how to spell it correctly. We would spell it Danelle, but it's Dynelle. And she's the property manager here. And from day one, this person here used racial slurs against his servant. And we noted that. And we said she went too far when she used the word like belligerent. There is not a belligerent bone in his servant's body. And like we told her, just because that, his servant is of dark skin and you are of the skin you are, doesn't mean that you are always telling the truth, and that those that are of dark skin are telling a lie. And so thank God that we were in the moment when all of that was happening with the young man, that we was videoing, and not one moment do you see the young man being belligerent or anything his servant doing was belligerent. And all they did was capture a picture of his servant because we was in the area, and wanted to serve, not knowing that we had done a video. And that's just alarming, how people will not tell the truth when they know that they're the ones at fault or at error. And so as a result, because God is saying, you're going to do it right. As a result of this individual not doing this right and leaving it like this and all, and after coming to fix that one little hole right there, it wasn't that big, it's about the size of a quarter. You see it, we'll put it back up. But because he didn't do it right now, the first time, hopefully they will not use him, because his work, none of his work is of satisfaction. And it's not that his servant is so old, it's because you just have this expectation of everything. Yes, I want it done it right. I mean, we're spending that kind of money. Yes, MD does want it right. Yes, we do. And it's not even about, oh, you just, that spirit of excellency, just, everything just got to be so. No, it's because this is what I'm paying. If I'm paying over $2,000 for anything, I want to see what I'm paying for. And this is the way that was, and how he left this here definitely does not equate or is not the quality of anything over 2,000. And so Provision, the squirrel, and all is like, okay, we're going to make sure we get it taken care of the right way. Look at that big old hole. Look at that. And we're going to put that squirrel, the one that we know, and it's a huge squirrel too. And all this is the damage that they cause, but through the storms, they really try to get inside. Look at that. And you can see the actual, that's all the screen that it chewed through, whatever it needed to do. And it was doing it up here. I think we might have spooked it because we were standing here. And thank goodness for the perfect timing of Covenant moving at the time that he did to see that. Like, oh, look at that big old squirrel. I was like, what? But we knew he was coming back because he has already done, made a way to get inside. So we know he was coming back, and you can see him edging his way down the thing, and he's looking for this part over here, in which is totally destroyed. And so this is our video we're going to do. We're going to submit this to the front office, and we're going to also submit it to the regional and also to the actual corporate, because we will not be ignored. And we've sent the information. They've tried to hide the information from us, not provide the actual people that we could have the point of contact with, and everything is what it is. But we're going to be persistent and consistent, and all because if we do our part on this end, whatever God has for us on the other side, on the other end, is because we did the things right over here, and we just didn't settle for things just because we weren't getting the right response, or even getting the kind of like white, what they call it, white supremacists, or not caring or feeling like we need people of color need to live a certain way. And who are you to like want things like so superb, and I'm just working in an office like this and things like this, and you just be surprised some of the spirits that sits in those front offices. We've had to deal with that, and that's why we know it's not a coincidence, a conspiracy, or an accident that these things are happening. And we're going to connect all the other units to show you that this is just the behavior of an individual, and that is working with the individual. And we're looking to see for to see better management and people that really do care about taking care of properties. Now, if we look even further down, might not be able to capture it on here and all, but yesterday, and we hope that they get to fixing it if they haven't, but how the people, like children and all, they, sometimes they'll come down here and they may live in one of these units, and they don't want to take the right route to come all the way inside the area. So they'll jump on the fence, and some of them will actually kick the fence down. And so you can see that they'll kick the fence down over there for them to just be able to not be able to jump the fence, because some of them can't, but they just come right on through the fence like that and come down the wall, and they go to the unit wherever. But like we said to them, into other places that had to really work to bring the actual, what people are paying for to make it a better community, and all. It's who you let in. So if you let people in and that does not abide by the bylaws, they don't read the lease, they just sign it. And then you have people that sit in the front office that don't get out in the community, don't know what's going on. There's a car that's been sitting out in the community with a cover on it that nobody even know who the car is. Do you think they get out there and check it? No. It's still there. Been there for over a month or two. And all of these, this is not how you take care of property. It's not what you do. And so we're on Retagua today. Again, this is High Servant Mother Doris, founder of I Am Sent Me, builder of the storehouse, carrier of the blessing of promise. And we getting, just like we had to get the cakes out of glory, we're still getting the cakes out of glory. It's the same with us in the building and what we're doing, because we won't have this type of behavior and atmosphere and situations and circumstances and all. We're not going to have that in the building. We're going to root it all out. We're going to learn how to deal with it with the right spirit. We're going to say something. When we say something, we're going to learn to say it in the right spirit. And we're not going to stop, give up, throw in the towel, quit. Like, did you see that we put out on the wall, where one of the messages that his servant received, that how it appeared on a pillow, and on the pillow it says, don't quit. and then it has white and red writing, and then in red, you have the word don't, and then underneath of it you have the word quit, but then it's highlighting in red to do it, you know. So the message was don't quit, but the light on don't quit was do it. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to continue to do it until we really see all the progress that we have made. I am sent me these storehouse, blessing and promise. Step into our very lives and into the life of his servant, thy seed, thy people, many generations. We're going to feel the whole effects of this. 24 years of, yes, we're going to feel the whole effect of it. So this is where we say we want to put the video in. And no, this is not the, not that we know of. We have to look back at it. It might be the third Wednesday. And if it is, we are right on schedule and it's where we should be. If not, then we're led to do this video. And all because of you're going to do it right. We'll link that to this here. And everyone that think they're going to get by doing things wrong, especially to a child of God, especially to a chosen one, especially to the least one, especially to the one that God favor. Oh no, this is not the time. It ended as of 2020. And as of this year, no matter who has come against you, if you be the one that God is saying is going to be the one that's going to carry a generation for generations, it's the time for things to be done right. And even when people try to do you wrong, guess what? You're going to have the opportunity to see them do you right. And we're going to talk about that too. We're going to put a video. Look, there he comes. He's out there on the field. He comes every day about this time. Yesterday we saw him up on it. There he go. He's a hawk. And he comes in this area every day. I was able to see him yesterday. My sons had told me about him. And then the other day, oh, no, there's one there. And there's one sitting over there on the fence. There's one over there sitting on the fence. So there's two of them. The double is upon us. The Spirit said, look over. And he's in that same spot again today. We're pointing that direction over there. He's sitting right there behind that first, second, between there's 1, 2, 3 trees. And right there on that fence is where you probably can see him as I'm pointing in that direction. And he comes here every day about that time. And I saw him yesterday go down. His neck turns all the way around. And he went down and he saw what he come to eat. He got it. And in a few seconds or two, when another squirrel was coming up the fence, I was like, oh, Lord, I hope he don't get that squirrel. And but I guess he was full. And so he just sit right there and then he flew off. But that was two of them. We saw two today. Normally it's just that one. I tell you, nature is beautiful. That's why we want to protect it. That's why we want to see trees that is beautiful. Even the trees over there with the broken branches and things like that, they just need some love like most people in the world do. You understand? A majority of the people in the world do. These are beautiful trees. And to just let them grow all like no one cares about them, it's just alarming. And right back to these trees here, and I'm going inside. I saw the lightning. I respect it. But you see these trees, you see how close they are. The squirrels just use it to come right in here. They're too close. They're right up on the actual patio. Well, anyway, we'll get ready to respect this. And we're getting ready to close this off. But as you can see, because it wasn't done right, you know, it wasn't done right, then now they have to come back and they have to do it right. And this one here, you can start seeing that the crinkles are starting to come in on this one here because it wasn't done right. It just wasn't done right. And they need to hire the people that know how to do what they do and not half-step and not try to do it just any old kind of way. So that's what we're facing right now. Then we'll just tag this one. There are the lights. The lights just came on. Oh, I wish I had the camera pointing in that direction. All the lights just came on just at that moment. And what we're going to do, we're going to link another video to this where we're telling you how light is coming into dark areas. So that's a prophetic moment right there. And in oneness to everything we're just saying, that light, because of that year of light, which was that year 2022, there's nothing hidden under the sun. There is nothing that people will do to you wrong. And even if they're doing it behind closed doors, God's still going to bring it to light. It's still going to be something you see right, come right before your face and all. And whatever's hidden, whatever's done in the dark can't stay hidden, and it's because of that L-I-G-H-T. All right, so there it is, and we're gonna attach this one to what we call, where you see a servant patching a hole in the wall. It's talking about all these holes in the walls. Of course, this is not a wall, but look at that big old hole, and this is the second hole. This one up here was much smaller, but this one right here, oh, that's a huge one, and that was done by that squirrel that you saw. And we want to put it right here because that's the squirrel that have done all this damage to this right here. And with provision, come on now, with provision, you can do some damage. So we thank God for every supporter, which is every storehouse worker, every light supporter, every cheerful giver, and also every bricklayer. We thank God for you because we're getting a building. I Am Sent Me is getting a building. Can anybody see that building over there with the lights on it? Today is July the 19th. Yep, it's that day, the 19th. It's up on the wall. We put it up on the wall earlier today. We put up that Lord God, Lord God, Lord God. It's on the wall. All right, because of day 19, it's Lord God Day, and it's on the wall. All right, and so today is July the 19th of 2023. And just when we said that the Spirit brings to His servant, remember, and we pay tribute to one of the greatest aunts I know that was on this side of glory, this side of heaven, was my Aunt Murder Saunders. She passed on this day, which was July the 19th. All right, we pay tribute to such a great woman, and God rest her soul and all. That was my father's sister. All right, until we do a live again, you know how we leave the live, and that is with two words, and that is most discipline. Come do it right.